sheriff's department investigators. I've worked with a lot of fine officers. A lot of them are not around today, and we're very close, very good friends of mine, and spent a lot of hours together. Of course, as a ranger, I spent a lot of time by myself, just solo, anyway, but a lot of time working with other officers too. But anyway, somebody said if I had to do it over again, would I do the same thing? I certainly would, except I would probably try to spend a little more time with my family than I did. I was going. I didn't work a shift. I worked 12, 14, 16-hour days. Sometimes go 3 or 4 days with just a 15-minute cat nap somewhere. Close your eyes. Well, I say that, just close your eyes and just completely relax for 10 or 15 minutes, then go. You're good for another 6 or 7, 8 hours. And
wow.
So, if I had to do it over, I'd try to spend more time with my family than I did. I tell my wife, I'd say, honey, I'll see you at night for supper, and she might not see me for 3 or 4 days. And because you get a lead on something, you get to move in on an investigation. You don't turn it loose till you get to the end of your rope. And so anyway, I enjoyed my career, and I'll tell you what I really enjoyed is like talking with you, Mike, and Jim, and you guys that I'm talking to tonight, and the people I've met since this book come out. I didn't want to do a book, and finally got talked, and they said, well, the only thing wrong with the first one that it ended too quick, and so I done a second one. People have been asking about a third. I could do a third book. I've got enough stories to do a third book, but I'm not. I'm getting a little bit. I'm 74 years old, and I really don't want to hit the road again on another book, and so I'm still doing talking. I'd make talks to civic groups and colleges and youth organizations and things like that. And no matter where we look at, tomorrow is our youth. And I think our young people today spend too much time looking at a laptop and watching videos. Yep. And but anyway, it's the world. The world's changed. It's not like it was when I was a young man growing up.
Ranger Jackson, you said that you do many speeches at colleges. How are you received by the college community today? Because I know most of the college community in New York City are extremely liberal. How are you received by the colleges in which you give lectures to?
Well, last year I was in Shreveport, Louisiana, made a talk to the body there, and very well received. And then also I made a talk to a bunch of junior college educators here last week in Kerrville, Texas, and about 100 people there. They're all like head of various junior colleges around over the state. And but anyway, and I was very receptive of them. I know what you're saying because a lot of you well-educated, I've got some very close friends that are extremely liberal people, and that's what this country's about. That's why we're peaceful. That's why we fight for this country. That's why our men live and die and fight for this country. Is so you can be a liberal, and you can be a conservative. You can be an extremist if you want to. I don't like extremism in anything, but you can be what you want to be in this country, and so that's why it's a great country, and God help us that we can stay this way and continue. I think the United States of America has overcome a lot of things, and I know that right now things are going with the current administration. I'm not going to get that into politics, but I'm just saying it. Things just not doing. It's not true Americanism. That things is happening today.
Oh, without a doubt, I'm with you 100%. And I could be as honest as I can be. I mean, I think this current administration is an absolute disaster, in my opinion. I mean, I don't like I said. When you ride for the brand. I'm an American, and I respect the office of the presidency, but I think. The president should show leadership, as should law enforcement. And I've always told that for the cops and detectives that worked for me, is that right or wrong, make a decision, and we'll discuss it later. Trust your judgment. Trust your instinct. You're in a position to make a decision. People are looking to you at a crime scene, especially you, Ranger, at a crime scene. They're looking at you to make the important decision, and sometimes the unpopular decision, to take charge, to take control, to show leadership. That is something that I think is lost in today's media when you see a lot of these shows showing men less than masculine. It's almost like the emasculization of America.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it. There's so much patent leather We need more General Patton, less patent leather, to be honest with you.
Well, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. You know, it's a, you know, I tell, you know, when here back, when I left the Ranger Service in 1st October of '93, 1st September of '93, and I had to wait 30 days before my retirement was official. But we had a governor named Ann Richards that mandated the hiring of women in the Ranger Service, and I knew that was coming. I knew that it was going to sooner or later go, because women were coming to the police departments and sheriff's departments all over the United States, and I knew that was coming. And I didn't have anything against a woman being a ranger if she had to meet, as long as she met the same qualifications I had to meet to be a ranger. In other words, I had 8 years service as a law enforcement officer. They hired the 2 women that they hired when I retired myself, and about 16 or 17 other older rangers retired in 1st October of '93. The 2 women they hired, neither one were DPS employees, but neither one of them have ever made a physical arrest. One of them was a driver's license sergeant. The other one went on the highway patrol. She worked about a month or so riding with a partner, getting broke in. Didn't like the work, and they put her in the office in Houston, serving traffic warrants over the telephone. Now that's the 2 that, and so that made us guys. It made, you know, I mean, that was demeaning to the Ranger Service, not because they were women, because they weren't qualified for the job.
Exactly. Yep. No, I agree.
But anyway, they tell me that I had never met her. They say that we got one now that spent 12 years on the highway patrol, and they say she's making a good hand, and I'm glad to hear that. But I know women are good investigators. I worked with some women FBI agents when I was a ranger, and they're terrific investigators. They got a couple of things that we have a little bit of, you know, is called intuition and hunches. And if you don't think they have that, marry one of them.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's true. How true it is. You're not kidding. You're not kidding. I'd like to ask you one more question, Ranger Jackson, with only 21 minutes left. If anybody would like to call in at 347-945-5285. Have you ever been contacted in making a movie regarding your life? Because I tell you, it's just, this is the quietest the chat room has been and the telephone lines, because I think you got people practically hypnotized with what's going on in your career. Have you ever been approached regarding making a movie?
Well, I had.
And they should.
A contract. Yeah, we had a contract with had an option with 2929, which a fellow that owns the Dallas Mavericks, and I can't think of his name right now in Dallas. But anyway, they just done. They moved. They were getting ready to start. They had a good movie script, and based on this Colorado Canyon shooting on the Rio Grande, and that story, they were getting ready to put this thing together, and then the Cormac McCarthy come out with the book The Road, and they went and filmed that, and it turned out that I guess they spent $30, $40, $50 million on that thing, and it turned out to be a flop in the theater. And I imagine they wish now they went ahead and done mine. But anyway, I've got a contract signed now with another actor producer, and so it looks like it may go. Hopefully, and if it does, right now, Robert Duvall is a personal friend of mine. I've got to meet her. Really a super guy. He may, if this thing goes, he may end up playing Captain Ali in that, and Kevin Costner may end up playing me. I don't know.
No kidding.
Somebody said, but if the thing happens the way it's moving right now, so I don't know. Somebody asked me one time, said, if they make a movie, who do you want to play you? And I said, well, I had a guy picked out, but he died. I said, Don Knox.
That was good. Very good. Very good. Good for you.
What could be better? One bullet and one ranger. You know, Don Knox, the sheriff wasn't a major. He couldn't carry but one bullet, and he carried it in his shirt pocket. That's
right. He's carried it in his shirt pocket. Absolutely. Well, to let you know also, if you need some help on the movie, I'm available. Mike Damone. I'm not 6'5", but listen, I could talk like nobody's business. And, of course, that's Joaquin Jackson from OneRanger.org. You can pick up both of his books, OneRanger.org, One Ranger, a memoir, and One Ranger Returns. And I really can't thank you enough for coming on with us and spending over an hour